shortstop or whoever should be capping in the infield.
I mean, it's just not that complicated. He's sitting there with his offense. He's got a 3-digit code for offense.
That's enough. Hit them where they ain't. That went right through them. See if he gets still second right here.
Left fielder, Kalen Gray.
Big hole, too short to third. Okay. Okay. Single. Who's in advance? And who's the error on? E8? But it's definitely an earned run. Yeah, the run was earned. It wasn't had nothing to do with the error.
Batting Reese Artelia.
That's a big hit. Hello and welcome to today's softball game between the visiting Rio Hondo Roadrunners and your Cuesta College Cougars. Good. We are in the bottom of the first inning. Score tied 1-1, and it's a 1-1 count right now to Reese Tartaglia, the shortstop for the Cougars. The visiting Roadrunners from Rio Hondo scored a run off a leadoff single. And the Cougars have already taken the lead now. With a single by Reese Tartaglia, drive in Kalen Gray. Cougars had a leadoff single for themselves from Emily Valdez. She stole second and advanced scored on the single by Gray. Gray advanced second on the throw to try and get Valdez at home, and then moved to third on the air, and then just scored on Tartaglia's single. So Cougars up 2-1 right now. 1-0 count to third baseman Shayla Batista. And she takes a called strike, 1-1. Another called strike. Pitching today for the Roadrunners is Clarissa Evangelista, sophomore out of La Mirada, right-hander. And her battery Mate behind the plate is Nadia Landeros, freshman out of Warren High School down in the Los Angeles area. Rio Hondo is located in Torrance. And called strike 3 right there. On Shayla Batista. That is the Cougars' first out. Now batting the first baseman, Bella Garcia. She takes a called strike. A 1 count. Wouldn't be surprised to see Tartaglia go on this one. And pitch in the dirt would have been a good one to go on. But Tartaglia holds up, and it's a 1-1 count. And it's a 2-1 count. Lined foul down the right field line. And it's 2-2. Baseman Nadine Marquez comes over and has a word with the pitcher, Evangelista. 2-2 count to Bella Garcia. High. So right there we saw pitch high, ball 3 to Garcia. High pitch made the catcher Landeros jump up a little bit, and her throw came in high, allowing Tartaglia slide it easy with the stolen base at second. So Cougars back in scoring position. Full count to Garcia. Takes strike outside at the knees. Called strike. And that's 2 down for the Cougars.
Second baseman, Laura Neal.
And 2 straight called strikeouts for Evangelista, who's settling down right now. Batter is Allure Neal, today is sophomore day, last year's team MVP. Playing second base today for the Cougars. Good fielder, good hitter. Hit .376 last year, hitting about .330 this year. Takes a fastball at the letters, strike 1, 1-1 count to Neal. They're one of 4 sophomores on the Cougars roster this year. And she fouls one off against the screen. 1-2. So 2-2 count. 1 error this inning so far by the Roadrunners. It ended up not having an effect on the score, so both those runs are earned. And it's a 2-2 count to Allure Neal. Allure Neal skies one out to right field and right into the hands of Isabella Guerra for the 3rd out of the inning.
Cougars come back in the bottom of the first with 2 runs.
Cuesta puts on 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave 1 on. 1 error committed by the Roadrunners, who will be sending up Ruiz, Santiago, and Vasquez. Both these teams come in with 15 wins on the season. Roadrunners are 15-12, Cougars 15-9. Cuesta right now in second place in the Western State Conference. Top two teams in the conference, and they're in a virtual tie with local rival Allen Hancock. Top two teams in the conference will move on to the playoffs automatically. After that, it goes up. It's up to an at-large spot. And as you join us, Hannah Hollingsworth, freshman out of the Monterey area, is the pitcher for the Cougars. She's from Watsonville, Monte Vista Christian.
Here in the top of the second, leading off for the road runners, Mariah Ruiz.
Rio Hondo is currently 6th in the very big South Coast Conference. They are 10-9 in the season, 3-6 in the conference play. While the Cougars are second behind Ventura, and they are 6-2. Ventura is 7-0. And Hollingsworth has a 1-1 count right now. Rio Hondo's leadoff batter, Mariah Ruiz. And high ball one. Ball two, sorry about that. Just out of the reach of Cuesta's catcher, Ashley Kober. So 2-1 count to Ruiz, who pops one foul down the first base line. Soft liner right to Laura Neal, and that is the first out of the inning. The batter is Jacqueline Santiago, the first baseman out of Roosevelt High in Los Angeles. Takes outside ball one. Diving play by Bautista from her knees. And the 5-3 put out. 2 down for the Roadrunners. So great play there by Bautista.
Now batting left fielder Janet Vasquez.
A little single there by Vasquez. And Finn's
batting Isabel Garrett.
infield single, and the Roadrunners have one on the bags. And Isabel Guerrero, the second baseman, batting from the left side, 2 outs, 1 on. Two-one count to Guerra. And count runs to 3-1. Full count. And strike 3. So Hollingworth gets a strikeout. Top of the second.
Scores 2-1.
Rio Hondo. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Cougars up 2-1, and we send it up Mazanek, Wilds, and Coburn. Mazanek, one of 4 sophomores being honored today. Splitting her time mostly between catcher and outfield this season. Today she's in the outfield. Hitting .254 on the season. A little down from last year where she hit .307. Talk a little bit about Evangelista, pitcher for the Rio Hondo Roadrunners. It's her 11th start of the season. She is 5-5 on the year, 4 complete games, solid ERA of 3.90 in 52 innings. And here she is with Mazanek. Mazanek has been a switch hitter.
Right fielder Mara
Spends a lot of time at left field as she tries to get on with her speed often. And there's a little slap down the left field line and foul, strike 1. Can see my list. Mazanek was an all Western State Conference second team pick last year for the Cougars, 2-year starter. And swinging and a miss, strike 2.
Look at their defense.
Major shift on over for the Rio Hondo. They had all three of the 4 infielders on the left side of second base. And here's the Cougars' other sophomore, Sydney Wilds.
Wilds.
And she sees a ball. Wilds saw a little bit more playing time last year, playing in 23 of the games. This is only her 10th game of the season so far, and she sees strike 1. From Iowa City, Iowa. Came out here to Cuesta. And big swing too. Wilds does have some power. She has hit a home run here at Cuesta. And can be dangerous. She takes one of the letters, and that's strike 3. So Evangelista settling down with a pair of strikeouts.
Here's the catcher.
And here's Cuesta's catcher, Ashley Kober. So this is 7, 8, 9 in the Cougars' batting order. Cougars went through 6 batters in the first inning, putting up 2 runs. Cooper takes the call, strike 1. Cooper's hitting a solid 286 on the year. Not a lot of power, though. 1 extra base hit, a double. Ground ball, and just short of a single. 4-3 put out. And the Cougars down in order.
3 up, 3 down after 2. Cuesta 2. Rio Hondo 1.
Into the third, Rio Hondo will be setting up the top of the order. Aldretti, Bravo, and Rodriguez. So as I said, today is sophomore day here for the Cougars. They have 2 more home games left, but they are middle of the week one, so this is their Cougars' final weekend game at home. And of course, they'll be celebrating last year's team MVP, Allura Neal. Second team all-conference player from last year. Neal was a first team all-conference player. Then they'll have a pair of second teamers also being honored. And that will be Mara Mazanak and Emily Valdez. Both mean second team all-conference last year. And who we just saw a couple seconds ago was Sydney Wilds, the Cougars' 4th sophomore. So leading off, top of the third, will be Angelina Aldretti.
Leading off a Rio Hondo here in the top of the third. Number 9, Angelina.
She is the Cougars' top hit, or the Roadrunners. I'm sorry, the Roadrunners' top hitter. She's hitting .460 on the season as a sophomore. Only 2 extra base hits, so expect a nice quick slap down there. And as you may have seen in the first inning, she has got a lot of speed. Stole the base and came around to score. She's the only run up there for the Roadrunners. Also leads the team in runs scored with 20. Dangerous player for them. And has 13 stolen bases. So a lot of speed there with Aldretti. But not much power. We're checking to see if Aldretti may have been hit out of the back box with that, but appears just a strike. 1-1 count. From Hollingsworth. And that was it. The bobble there by Neal was just enough to get Aldretti to first. And so that little error right there. Cougars are going to have to watch out right now to make sure Aldretti doesn't get any further.
Ashley Bravo.
As Ashley Bravo comes up. Bautista makes a play. Oh, and Aldretti makes a long run. Great play, heads up play by left fielder Kath. And maybe hurt. Hold on a second here. We'll see what happens there. Kaylin Gray came in from left field, made a great play, heads up play. She saw that Aldretti was going to try and take 2 bases right there. As third baseman Shayla Bautista came up to make the play, leaving third base unguarded. Gray came in from left field, took the throw, made the tag, bang, bang play. Could have gone either way, but they called Aldretti safe, so she's at third on the sack bunt. So again, as we said, Aldretti's has some speed and right back in the scoring position with only 1 out. Leona Rodriguez is coming up for the Roadrunners, and it's the coach Janelle Guadagno takes a moment, talk it over with their team, make sure they have their defensive plan straight. with the dangerous Aldretti at third. And Rodriguez, the number 3 batter in the Roadrunners lineup, at the plate. Rodriguez is right behind Aldretti on batting average for the team. She's hitting a solid 400. Has 15 RBIs.
Now batting Liana Rodriguez.
And also produced 5 doubles and 3 triples. So she has some power. As a team, Rio Hondo's only hit 4 home runs. So they're not much of a threat to leave the yard, but they will get around the bases. So right there, line drive. Great play by Bautista. 2 away. And Bautista right away turned back towards third base, and Aldretti scampered back to make sure she was safe.
Nadine Marquez.
And here's Marquez at the plate. We talked about power. Marquez is one of only 2 Roadrunners who have hit a home run. She's got 1 on the season. And Nika Umana, who's not in today's lineup, has 3. And a rare ball over Emily Valdez's head. And that's going to tie the game. Double by Marquez. Said she has a little bit of power, and she put one to the fence.
Nadia Landeros.
And here's Nadia Landeros back up. So 2 outs, tied 2-2. Runner at second. And another pop-up right there. Right in no man's land, and that's going to give the Roadrunners back the lead 3-2. They hit him where they ain't. Single for Landeros. Marquez with 2 outs, running on the play. Easily comes around for the score.
Mariah Ruiz.
And Mariah Ruiz is up. Lines one foul down the left line. It's only Ruiz's 12th game of the season. He's a reserve outfielder for the Roadrunners. He's hitting .238 on the season. But she has a .407 on base percentage, thanks to 5 walks. And that's strike 2. So that leadoff error by Aldretti, by Neal, to allow Aldretti on there, cost the Cougars 2 runs, both unearned. And a single there for Ruiz. As she hits it right back at the pitcher, Hannah Hollingsworth. And Roadrunners back in the scoring position with 2 outs.
Number 8, Jacqueline Santiago.
And Jacqueline Santiago at the plate. Takes high ball 1. But Roadrunners making contact, not crushing the ball, making contact. And just seems to be putting them where they ain't. The old hit them where they ain't, we will a keeler. And that's an effective way to bat. Just make sure you don't hit it next to anybody. Santiago runs the count 3-0. Not a lot of space on the bases right now for the Cougars to put Santiago. And Hollingsworth's going to have to climb back in. She's got a 3-1 count now with a called strike. And that's ball's high. So base is loaded. And it brings up Vasquez.
Left fielder Janet Vasquez.
The number 9 person in the Roadrunners order. She takes high ball 1. And so 1-1 count right now to Vasquez. And 1-2. 3 runs so far for the Roadrunners. All 3 made possible by an error. So Hollingsworth, with the bases loaded, looks like a tough day for her, but a couple of great fielding plays might have made a difference for her, as none of those runs are earned. And there's Allura Neal makes a play at second, and staunches a potential big inning for Rio Hondo with a 4-3 put out. Bases loaded.
Gets 2 more runs with 3 hits.
So 2 runs on 3 hits, 3 left, and 1 Cuesta error.
2 Rio Hondo leads.
Bottom of third, Valdez, Gray, and Tartaglia due up for Cuesta. That's the top of the order. So Valdez coming up, leadoff player for the Cougars. She was the state player of the week last week. Had a fantastic game against number 2, Monterey Peninsula, who came to visit for the Cougars. Cougars split that series with the Lobos. Valdez set a school record in game 1 with 8 putouts in center field. Most putouts by an outfielder for the Cougars. She was all over that field, making a lot of plays. While going 6 for 8 against the number 2 team in the state. So that was Cougars' game where Valdez had 8 putouts in center field.
Center fielder Emily Valdez.
Was only Monterey Peninsula's 2nd loss of the season. A big part of that was Emily Valdez, who's leading off right now here at the bottom of the 3rd for the Cougars against Rio Hondo. Valdez with the bunt, and she's going to outrun the defense. So the ever-dangerous Emily Valdez, who is a switch hitter. She's batted left both the first times up here today. Came around to score in the first. And here's Kaylin Gray, Cougars left fielder.
Now batting Kaylin Gray.
As you can see, Gray's from last inning's defensive play at third base. Gray's a pretty heady player and has some power there at the plate. See strike 1. Gray's hitting a solid .289 on the season. 1 home run, 1 triple. As Valdez adds to her collection of stolen bases. That's her 18th of the season. And puts a tying run in scoring position for Gray. Gray fouls one back. Gray leads the Cougars. Well, one behind Valdez in extra base hits for the Cougars. 1 home run, 1 triple, and 6 doubles. Team high 6 doubles. Hitting .289. And second on the team with 21 RBI. Line drive past the third baseman. And that is going to be scored
It's a hit. Single.
a hit. So base hit there for Gray. And runners on the corners for Cuesta.
Reese Tartaglia.
So tying run 60 feet away. Go ahead run 180 feet away with Gray at first base and Valdez at third. Reese Tartaglia sees a strike one, and Gray moves up uncontested. Defensive end difference right there, and Cougars have 2 runners in scoring position. Didn't even know, coach. He just loped down there, no play, nobody covering second. The ball's in the dirt, 1-1. Comebacker right at the pitcher, and that is a hit. So single by Tartaglia. Moves the runners up. Gray goes to third, and Valdez is on the board, and we're tied again. And just if you're wondering, that was right at the pitcher, then if the pitcher's in that pitching circle and a ball comes right at her, that is not considered an error on that pitcher coming out of the windup. So that's a hit right there by rule. And we're tied at 3. Cougars runners at the corners again.
It's also the right call.
Pitchers are not there to field. You know, when a pitcher gets a gold glove, and gets one every year from the major leagues, it's got to be somebody who does something special, because a lot of pitchers, they're there to throw the ball. In the American League, they don't hit. Here, they often do hit. And here's Shayla Bautista.
Shayla Bautista.
The cleanup spot for the Cougars, and at third base. So we'll see if they let Tartaglia take second. And Tartaglia was running, but fouled off into the screen by Bautista. Bautista hitting a solid 400 on the season. 14 RBIs. She's missed some games with some injuries, but she's been tough when she's been in there. And her right shoulder is well bandaged up. Bautista spent some time. She's a little bit older than the other girls. All-county player at Rigetti High School, then went on to wrestle at the NAIA level for a couple years. And now back here at Cuesta playing softball, but she sees strike 3. That's the first out of the inning on the Cougars.
First baseman Bella Garcia.
But in the meantime, on that pitch, Tartaglia moves to second, and 2 runners in scoring position for Bella Garcia. Takes a hack at a high fastball in her eyes. So good pitch by Evangelista, and she's ahead in the count, 0-1. So ball inside right there. Nice setup by Evangelista, coming high with the strike. Change height there and go a little bit low. But that was ball 1, 1-1. And drills it down the first baseline, handled by Santiago. And she takes herself, Cougars, 2 outs now. Runners on second and third, 2 runners in scoring position.
Laura Neal.
For Allura Neal. Great opportunity for last year's team MVP to help her team out here. Chance to break the game open a bit. Tied at 3, 2 runners in scoring position. Deal puts that. That's going to be just. Oh, great play in second place. Second base right there. As Ashley Bravo chases it down in shallow center, or shallow left.
Picks up one, leaves two on base. Game is tied after 3.
And ends the Cougars rally. So that could have been trouble right there. That would have meant 2 runs. But Ashley Bravo makes the play. And the Cougars are retired, bottom of third, 1 run, 3 hits. They leave 2 on. As the Roadrunners will be sending up Guerra, Aldretti, and Bravo. So Guerra, the lead off the inning, she's in the 9th spot. And then the top of the order coming up for the Roadrunners. Guerra's hitting.
You and I we're in a different spot here. I've got Guerra leading off.
Yeah. I have Guerra leading off.
Okay.
So Guerra is leading off. We've all concurred up here in the press box.
Place to the top of the lineup.
Well, Guerra, then the top of the lineup. Guerra's hitting 200 on the season. It's three hits in her 15 at bat.
Leading off in the 4th for Rio Hondo.
3 hits in her 15 at bats.
Right fielder Isabel Guerra.
She's high ball 1. And ball 2. So 2-1 count on a failed bunt. So Guerra's one of 3 left-handers in the 20-woman roster. And she tips one off. 2-2 for the Roadrunners. So one of 3 left-handers. Cougars have only 1 pure left-hander. Alexis Sargenti is out with a knee injury. And a pair of switch hitters with Neal and Mazenak. And a full count to Guerra, who tries another bout, and that's strike 3. So by rule, of course, just to make sure you follow up, a foul bunt with 2 strikes is a strikeout. The batter, Angelita Aldretti. The top of the order for the Roadrunners. Aldretti watches that one sail high over Kober, the catcher, too. All the way to the backstop on the fly. Kober has that ball thrown out. Apparently has wings on it or filled with helium, not sure. But it's time to get rid of that ball. 1-0. Nice rise ball there by Hollingsworth. And a 1-1 count. So Aldretti's 3rd at bat here in the 4th inning. So Roadrunners have been getting people on. And 5-3 put out. You can see that injury right there to Batista at 3rd. She kind of lobbed the ball over, just barely made it there on the fly. Nice stretch by Bella Garcia to make sure that play came through. And there's 2 outs, and Ashley Bravo is back up. Another Roadrunner with speed So, nickname fits Aldrete and Bravo, both players with a lot of speed. Top of the order. Be curious to see how the Rio Hondo does if they go out and play Saracoso, who are, of course, the Coyotes. That would be fun to see the Coyote versus Roadrunner matchup. Bautista lobs another one. Good work over at first base right there by Bella Garcia. Goes down low for the short throw and goes up high to get the long throw. But the 5-3 put out both times. Takes us to the bottom of the fourth as Rio Hondo goes down in order to send up Mazanek, Wilds, and Kober. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Cougars. All tied at 3. Rio Hondo with a line of 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error committed by them. And the Cougars pretty much the same, 3 runs on 6 hits and 1 error so far. So we'll start off with Mazanek and Wilds, 2 of today's sophomores being honored for the Cougars in between the games. And then the freshman Ashley Kober at catcher. So Mazanek last year, 2nd team All-Western State Conference. And right now the Cougars are in 2nd place in the conference right now. Automatic bid for the playoffs coming possible for the Cougars because the top 2 teams of each conference automatically get to the playoffs. And so the Cougars are working for that in that area right now. A lot of rainouts still to go. A lot of rainouts coming on. And this, as we said, is Cougars only have 2 more home games, single games coming up. And they will spend the rest of the conference, most of April, on the road. So I'll see how well the Cougars do on the road in April and try and seal a playoff spot. And here is Mazanek, 2nd team All-Conference player coming back. Switch hitter, batting lefty today. And we have a wristband. I guess it's apparently sometimes coaches have plays on those wristbands. And as you can see, the pitcher checking to see what she's going to throw. And Evangelista throws it in the backstop. Not sure if that was on the wristband, but ball 1 to Mazanek. Mazanek chips it foul. As you can see, Roadrunners are playing Mazanek to lay it down on the left side. They have their shortstop is where the third baseman normally would be, and the third baseman is on the line. Second baseman playing close to second base. And there it goes, right. Great defensive positioning for the Roadrunners. Easy play for Marquez. And the Cougars have 1 down. Designated player now, number 23, sophomore Sydney Wilds.
Number 23, Sydney Wild.
Wilds with a big cut, just misses. Wilds connects, that ball will go a long way. As you watch straight 2, nice off-speed pitch there by Evangelista. And it's an 0-2 count. The Wilds got to protect the plate right here. And fouls one back. Out of play. Actually chipped it all the way across the street into the parking lot. So a big cut. That had gone the other direction. It might have been a big hit for Wilds, but she only got a piece of it. There she goes. And their ball outside. 1-2. Wilds getting hard hit ball, but right at Bravo. And a 4-3 put out.
Now batting the catcher, Ashley Kober.
Now batting is Ashley Kober, the catcher. Kober grounded out to second base, her first at bat. Takes high ball one. And it sends one out to right field. Looks like Guerra wasn't sure where it was as she finally caught up to it and made the play. So we remain tied at 3.
We're tied 3-3 after 4.
And into the 5th. Cougars down in order in the bottom of the 4th. And coming up for Rio Hondo will be Rodriguez, Marquez, and Lenderos right in the heart of the order. All the way across the street. Oh.
So we'll do the software before the game starts. We'll take the break.
There will be a ceremony between games recognizing the Cougar sophomores. There are 4 of them out there. Eligibility-wise, as we said, Bautista has already been to college, a college wrestler during the pandemic, came back to the Central Coast, and Hollingsworth was just attended Monterey Peninsula last year, but did not play. So, academically, there are a couple of sophomores out there, but for the Cougars overall, this is the 4. Neal and Mazanek, and Valdez were all conference players last year, and Sydney Wilds, who was just up. So Neal, the second baseman, is the team's reigning MVP. Played shortstop and outfield last year, moved to second this year.
For the Roadrunners here in the 5th, Liana Rodriguez.
So the number 3 batter for Roadrunners, Liana Rodriguez. And takes 2 balls, both high. And called strike, 2-1. Rodriguez calls time, gets back in. And that's a 3-1 count. Rodriguez, one of 2 400 hitters. And takes his fastball at the knees, 3-2. And the whiff. Rodriguez swings it one low and away, protected the plate.
Now batting Nadine Marquez.
And here is Marquez. Takes high ball one. Line drive right at Tartaglia. Well, not right at her, at the shoestrings. And that's 2 away.
Nadia Landeros.
And Landeros, easy inning right there for Hollingsworth. That's what she needed.
3 up, 3 down. Still tied, middle of the fifth.
As she threw about 9 pitches in the inning to get out of there. And Cougars and Roadrunners all tied at 3 going into the bottom of the 5th. Cuesta's going to have a big opportunity here with the start top of the lineup with the Valdez, Gray, and Tartaglia.
Leading up for the Cougars here in the 5th, Emily Valdez.
So here's Emily Valdez leading off again with the bunt. Everybody converged on that play, about 4 different Roadrunners were on that, ready for another Valdez bunt. And a 5-4 put out.
Left fielder, Kaylin Gray.
Takes us back to Kaylin Gray. See strike one at the knees. So 2 called strikes on Gray. And she swings for strike 3.
Now batting shortstop.
So here's
Tartaglia.
Reese Tartaglia. Today hit 324 on the season. Ground ball to shortstop. And the Cougars go down in order for the first time today. Into the 6th, Ruiz, Santiago, and Vasquez due up for Rio Hondo. All tied at 3. Rio Hondo, same thing. Both teams down in order in that 5th inning. Rio Hondo remains 3 runs on 5 hits with 1 error committed. Cougars 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error committed. So the Cougars warm up to a little bit of a new order here. Funny story, I was once in a music video for New Order. The band we were listening to, if you can hear it over the speakers. These days my work is more audio than visual.
Top of the 6th. Now batting Mariah Ruiz.
And Mariah Ruiz at the plate for the Roadrunners. All tied up at 3. And she takes high, very high, ball 1. And right down the pipe as Hollingsworth changes levels and brings it back up a notch. So 1-2. Little bloop easily handled by Bella Garcia at first.
Jacqueline Santiago.
So 1 out and Jacqueline Santiago up. Takes ball 1. Comebacker handled by Hollingsworth. And that's 2 away. And the batter is Janie Vasquez. And Gray comes in to make the catch. Roadrunners down in order again.
Middle of the 6th, still tied.
Cougars send up Batista, Garcia, and Neal. So the Cougars coming up with 4, 5, 6 in their order. bottom of the sixth. All tied at 3. Good opportunity here for the Cougars. Cleanup hitter and third baseman, number 11, Shayla Bautista, leading off. Followed by Bella Garcia and Allura Neal.
Leading off here in the bottom of the sixth, Shayla Bautista.
Going away, ball 1. Bautista gets enough of it, just over Bravo's head at second, and then the Cougars have a base runner.
Number 9, Bella Garcia.
The Cougars have been quiet.
We're going to do a little bit of break, and then before the second game, we've got
Before that hit right there, the Cougars have gotten 8 straight batters out. Strike.
2 strikes. Yeah. 2 strikes. No matter how many fences.
So the Cougars, with Bautista on base, threatening again, but again, nice work by Evangelista, who had gotten 8 straight Cougars out since both teams were scoring in those first couple innings. So called strike 3.
Second baseman, Allura Neal.
And Allura Neal is up. Neal came in the game hitting .325. And fouls one back into the screen. Tries to bunt foul. And goes to 0-2. Neal's a good hitter. Hit .372 last year, .325 this year. Good power to the gaps. And good speed on the base pass. And it's a 1-2 count. The Roadrunners get the lead runner. And 2 outs. Brings up Mara Mazanek.
Mara Mazanek.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Neal go on this one. And she does. And caught. So I guess I wasn't the only one not being surprised by Neal going on the pitch. And she's caught stealing. Cougars, no runs on 1 hit. And we head to the 7th.
We're tied.
Guerra, Aldretti, and Bravo due up for the Roadrunners. Why not? So the scoring is slowed down. Both teams scored in the first inning and then again in the third. But since then, the Cougars only have 1 hit, and over the last 3 innings. So it's going to come down to the 7th inning. So a little drama as we listen to the 5th of the Beethoven, kind of feel that coming. And we start off with a pinch hitter as Jasmine Brokaw, a freshman out of Bishop Amat High School in La Puente. Bishop Amat, one of those big Catholic schools, have a lot of good athletics there. And you go down south, you got Crespi and Mater Dei. Bishop Amat is one of those schools. Always seem to be playing well, but this time, Garrett hits a high chopper to Tartaglia at shortstop and the 6-3 put out. And Brokaw is out.
Now batting Angelina Aldretti.
So here's the leadoff, Angelina Aldretti. Good speed, as already noted. Not somebody you want on the base pass. She's come around to score both the last times up. And bunts foul. A little bit too much English on that one. Aldretti scored 2. The Roadrunners 3 runs. Got 1 hit on the day. And a pair of stolen bases to go with it. Letter lines it out the center, and that's where fly balls go to die as Emily Valdez makes the catch in center for the Cougars. So 2 down.
Batting second baseman Ashley Bravo.
And here's Ashley Bravo. Takes called strike 1. She lofts one out to left field, and there's Kaylin Gray. And the Roadrunners go down in order.
3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 7th. We're tied.
So we head to the bottom of the 7th. Cougars up, sending up the bottom of the order. Mazanek, Wilds, and Coburn. Roadrunners put Guerra back in right field. So all tied at 3. Both teams have slowed down. Nobody's scored since the 3rd inning. So bunch of donuts on the scoreboard in the last 4 innings. Cougars still have the lead in hits. Roadrunners 3 runs on 5 hits they leave, and with committed 1 error. Cougars 3 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. So Cougars setting up Mazanek, Wilds, and Kober. So far combined 0 for 6 on the day with a pair of strikeouts.
Bottom of the 7th. Leading off for the Cougars, Samara Mazanek.
The Cougars trying to get something out of the bottom of the order right now. It takes ball 1 for Mazanek. Mazanek hits 307 last year. She's been below that this year, but she's moved over to the right side. She's been switch hitting, batting left her first two times at bat. Now on the right side. She's hitting 254 this season. And lost one off to the right. Right over the Cougars dugout, and it's 1-2. That's not good speed once she gets on the bases, so if she can get on, the Cougars will be threatening. And fouls one back into the screen. Cougars looking for some help from the bottom of the lineup. That's next sees one high, a little high and outside. Good eye right there. And it's a 2-2 count. Foul tip and caught by Landeros. One down for the Cougars with Sydney Wilds up.
Now batting Sydney Wilds.
Little high ball one. Wilds connects one. Hard hit ball to second base. Well played by Ashley Bravo, and it's 2 down for the Cougars. With the catcher, Ashley Cover.
Ashley Cover.
Cover sees ball one. And it counts even with the foul ball right there, even 1-1. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. All tied at 3. And Cover could make this a 7-inning game right now if she can ignite the Cougars offense. Cover runs a count to 3-1. Cover good speed if she can get on base. With the Cougars top of the order coming up. So, she lofts one out to center. But Aldretti is there to make the catch. And we're going to extra innings today. And Rio Hondo will start off the 8th with Rodriguez, Marquez, and Landeros.
With the game tied, we're going into extra innings.
Rodriguez comes in 0 for 2, but she's the number 3 hitter for the Roadrunners. Rodriguez still hitting 400 on the season by going 0 for 2 today. And she's second on the team in extra base hits. She'll be followed by Marquez, who leads the team. Rodriguez has 8 extra base hits, 5 doubles, 3 triples. And Marquez has 9 extra base hits, 6 doubles, 2 triples. And it was one of only 2 players on the team with a home run in their stat sheet. And with the international tiebreaker.
International tiebreaker rules here in the 8th inning. Ashley Bravo will start at second base. Leading off here in the top of the 8th, Liana Rodriguez.
And a wild pitch sends Bravo to third. Good throw, but not enough. And the Roadrunners take the lead on the sac fly.
Nadine Marquez. Catcher, Nadia Landeros. Rio Hondo picks up one on a sacrifice. They lead 4-3, middle of 8th.
Doggone it.
Ashley Cougars is at second base for the Cougars. And batting here in the bottom of the 8th, Emily Valdez.
The Cougars Ashley Coburn at second for the tiebreaker. And a high ball 1. Runners on second. Ashley Kober, 1-1 count. And 1-2. Wild pitch? Wild pitch or pass ball? Wild pitch or pass ball?
I'm sorry, what?
Wild pitch or pass ball right here.
It's a wild pitch.
Okay. Sorry. I borrowed it again. I borrowed it again. So line drive. And Cougars have one out. Valdez hit it right at second baseman. And now it's Kaylin Gray.
Now batting Kaylin Gray.
Got borrowed again. I need to finish last inning. Thank you. Gray makes the play, gets the sack over there.
Reese Tartaglia. All right, can I borrow that real quick? The Cougars 60 feet away from tying the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Shortstop Reese Tartaglia. Freshman shortstop out of Morro Bay. Shayla Batista on deck. Here's the money pitch. High over the, all the way back to the backstop, but bounced right back to the catcher. Kober about ready to go, but that ball came right back quickly. And it's a full count to Tartaglia.
Tartaglia, gets down. That's going to tie the game. So Tartaglia evens it up. Single to center. And Shayla Bautista. Cougars cleanoff hitter.
Shayla Bautista.
With a chance to give the Cougars the lead. Takes high ball one. Rio Hondo playing the infield as they're expecting Tartaglia to try and steal second, get into scoring position. High ball two. Bautista, a dangerous hitter, hitting close to 400 on the season. And feeling they're going to pitch around her a little bit, get to Bella Garcia on deck. Not going to give Bautista an opportunity to score, and they're not going to give her a strike right here. I expect they're put her on and put runners on second anyways. And they do. Didn't walk her. That wasn't an intentional walk, but there was no intentional strikes there. And Bautista succeeds in advancing Tartaglia in a scoring position. Runners in first and second. And here's first baseman Bella Garcia, an opportunity to give the Cougars the win. First ball in the dirt. Garcia is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today. And it looks like a defensive change coming up for the Roadrunners. And it's actually a pitching change. Mid-count. So one ball on Garcia.
Lord Soria coming in.
And the pitching change right now be Lord Soria, sophomore right-hander from San Gabriel. And it's come in with one ball on Bella Garcia. The book on Soria, she is 4-4 in the season with a team low ERA of 3.72. Evangelista, who just left the game, is only a notch higher at 3.90. But she has a better strikeout ratio. She averages about 5 strikeouts per 7, 5.5 strikeouts per 7 innings. But she and Evangelista have split the season. 52 2/3 innings for Soria, 52 innings even for Evangelista. Both are 500. Evangelista 5-5, Soria 4-4. And there is strike two. There's strike one. Sorry. There's a 1-1 count. 1-0 count before. Now it's 1-1. And there is strike two. 1-2. A little off speed. And that's popped up and handled by Bravo. So both teams threaten. Both teams score.
In the 8th, we're on to the 9th.
And we're into the 9th. Ruiz, Santiago, and Vasquez due up for Rio Hondo. Roadrunners will start with Nadia Landeros at second base. And then we'll have the number 6 batter in the lineup. They will go off with Ruiz, Santiago, and Vasquez due up. So pinch hitter for Rio Hondo, now batting number 7, Mariah Benitez.
Now batting for Ruiz. Nadia Landeros is on second base.
Benitez with the bunt. Makes the sack. Moves the runner to third. That does their job. And here is Santiago with 1 out, runner at third.
Santiago.
And ball 2, a little bit high. Ground ball to shortstop or third base. Bautista came in and made the play. So 2 outs as Vasquez comes to the plate.
Janet Vasquez.
Vasquez takes ball 1. Vasquez has 1 hit on the game. 1 for 3. And a ground ball right under the glove of Bautista. The lead goes back. So runner first.
Isabel Guerra's batting.
Give it an E. Okay. Scored a hit by Vasquez. So 2 outs. 2-0 count to Guerra. 3-0 count to Guerra. And there's a free pass to Guerra. Number 9 batter. Brings up leadoff hitter, Angelina Aldretti. Runners in first and second. 2 outs.
Now batting Angelina Aldretti.
5-4 lead for Rio Hondo. Andretti is one for 4 today, but scored twice. Andretti has lots of speed also. She has two stolen bases already today. And can make things tough for the Cougars. It's high ball one. Hit the shortstop. Great play by Tartaglia. Saves a run. And once again, the Roadrunners put in their bonus runner starting at second base. And can't get anything more. So 1 run on 1 hit. They leave 2 on. And Cuesta start off with Neal, Mazanek, and Wilds. That puts Bella Garcia on second for the Cougars.
I don't think so. I don't know. I've got it.
Yeah, you don't know, right? We would need you Wednesday. I was going to remind you like Monday.
You do need me or don't need me?
We will need you
Wednesday? I should be open, but
I'll remind you guys like tomorrow, Monday. Okay?
The Cougars have 6, 7, 8 in the lineup due up. As we said last year, Neal was the first team all-conference shortstop for the Cougars. Cougars team MVP. The opportunity to drive in Neal, and running for Bella Garcia at second will be Gabriella Poole. And Neal does her job and sacrifices Poole over to third, and just 60 feet away from tying the game. So here's Mazanek.
Mara Mazanek.
It takes ball one. So good speed at third. Mazanek batting from the left side. Good slapper. Takes ball two. This is the first game of a doubleheader. And there's the first called strike on Mazanek. Mazanek, all-conference player last year. Mazanek this. Mazanek hits one down there. But the error by the shortstop moves Mazanek into scoring position at second and scores Poole. So, costly error by the Roadrunners. Give the Cougars a great opportunity to come around and score this. So runner in scoring position. Mazanek at second with good speed. And Sydney Wild up with an opportunity to play the hero here. on sophomore day. The sophomore right-hander takes low ball one. So evens the count, 1-1. Wild sees one high, 2-1. Mazak, good speed, second. And just outside, 3-1. Wilds has power. And can put one in the outfield so he can get his opportunity to win the game here on sophomore day. Sophomore right-hander. Outside, low outside corner right there, strike two. Full count to Wilds. Wilds does just that. There's going to be a play at the plate. And Sydney Wilds singles in the winning run. Mazak hesitated at first, but then took off just beating the throw. As Wilds wins the game for the Cougars. So big hit for Sydney Wilds.
It's the RBI single, help win the game 6-5.
And there you go, 6-5 win.
We'll start in about 20 minutes.
One out in the ninth. Wilds takes care of it. So there you go, Sydney Wilds game-winning hit as he singles in to center field. Drops the Rio Hondo Roadrunners to 10-10 on the season. Cougars improved to 16-12. In just under 2 hours, 1 hour and 59 minutes. So there you have it. Cougars in 9 innings. 6-5 are the Rio Hondo Roadrunners in game 1 of 2. We'll be back as they reset the field and take some time for sophomore day. And they'll take time to recognize the Cougars' 4 sophomores, including Sydney Wilds. So Wilds probably going to be the featured player now after hitting that game-winning single for the win, and where she drove in fellow sophomore Mara Mazanak, along with Allura Neal and Emily Valdez. So thank you very much for joining us. We'll come back in time for game 2 of your Cuesta Cougars game against the Rio Hondo Roadrunners. Game 1, Cuesta 6, Rio Hondo 5 in 9 innings.
Was that fun, huh? Pete, Glenn coming back, right?
Sorry, sophomore day.
First of all, we do it in a day.
Sorry, sophomore night. It just sounds.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's roll. We're ready.
Recognize the Rio Hondo sophomores.
I'm going to recognize the Rio Hondo sophomores and then just
Then go right into it.
go right into it. Good afternoon once again, everybody. Given this is a Saturday doubleheader, we're going to honor the sophomores on the Cuesta team today. There are 2 more home games, but with the Saturday game, an opportunity to get a good crowd and a lot of families out. Today is Sophomore Day. Before we introduce the 4 Cuesta sophomores, we would like to just highlight and introduce the sophomore players from Rio Hondo. Number 2, Alexia Mavorga. Number 3, Lord Soria. Number 6, Ashley Bravo. 7, Mariah Benitez. 8, Jacqueline Santiago. Number 9, Angelina Aldrete. Number 11, Clarissa Evangelista. And number 14, Nadine Marquez. And for the 4 sophomores here from Cuesta, first one, introducing Sydney Wild. She's in her 2nd year for the Cougars here. She's played in 41 games, currently batting .182. Sydney and her 2 best fans sitting and standing out there today.
I'm gonna get a group picture.
Second up, Mara Mazanek. Mara's been a 2-year starter. 2022 All-Western State Conference 2nd team. Played in 51 games, mostly catcher and in the outfield, .285 average. Thank you to Mara and the support from her parents. Next up, Emily Valdez. Emily Valdez, another two-year starter, 2022 All-Western Conference second team. Played in 62 games. Outfield, 332 career average. Fifth at Cuesta in career with 34 steals. Current Cuesta State Softball Player of the Week. And last but not least, Allura Neal. 2022 All-Western State first team player. She was a team MVP. 2022, she led the team with 376 average, 45 runs. All-time at Cuesta, she is 7th with season 20 steals, 4th career with 35 steals. She's played in 60 games with a career 354 average. Thanks to these four. Making a commitment to play softball is a big commitment for everybody. You're going to get out on the field for a big group shot.
Then we'll do another one. Then we do another one with everybody.
See if Bob Mariucci can get his camera in focus on this big group shot.
Make it tighter, a little bit.
I just had to say that.
Hey, Bob, those for 4. I need the 4. Sorority squad. Going to see the sorority squad. That's what my team is called. The sorority squad. Thomas, you know what I want to do?
Anything else I need to say?
They were last Rio had their state.
One more round of applause for the commitment for these young ladies. Great seasons they've been having.
Bob, you get one? Okay. I'll grab my sweatshirt. You okay?
Yeah, I gotta go get lineups.
Thank you once again. Congratulations to the ladies. They're a great 2-year commitment here to Cuesta. Take a little more break. Get lineups for the second game. We'll be back here shortly.